Howdy ho, jabronios. It is cold outside. We are the Sweater Boys. We are here. This is Punch Drunk Nerd. Watch out because Fimmel winter is here. Ooh, you catch that reference, God of War fans? This is Punch Drunk Nerd, and it's me, Luis Gonzalez. And of course, I have
Miguel Sanchez
and Deadpool.
And this week, we are going to cover some nerd shit. Now, usually we do the nerd news, and then we do a feature discussion about a movie, a show, or some sort of event, and then we have what we're into. Except this week, we're not having any feature discussion. We're just doing the news and what we're into, okay? We had a long one last week, so we need to trim it down this week. We're going to have a nice, short, quick, and easy one. We'll see if that actually happens. Listen, before we start, we had our first correction, so we're going to have this new segment called Correction Corner. Correction Corner. We had somebody on YouTube correct us in our last week's episode of House of the Dragon. Correct us. Philip commented on YouTube. Follow us at youtube.com/@punchdrunknerd. You can see the Sweater Boys in action in our own sweaters. Philip said to us about House of the Dragon, we made a comment about how much faster the next season is going to be. Philip said, by move a lot faster, I think the House of the Dragon creators mean more action. I don't think they were making any reference here to time. The first season had to cover the 30 years of peace leading up to the war, so that the war had more context. In the books, the war, called The Dance of the Dragons, only lasts 2 years. George R.R. Martin said that it will take 4 10-episode seasons to tell this story. That's 3 seasons for the actual war. On average, that's 8 months per season of television, so things will slow down a lot time-wise for future seasons, but be more action-packed. Keep in mind that the source material for Game of Thrones was novels, while the source material for this show is a fictional history book. End quote. Philip, thank you so much for participating. And fans, if you have anything to say, any corrections, we'll bring it down here to Correction Corner. And we appreciate it because we're not perfect. We're trying to live our normal lives here. Okay? Yeah. After reading this comment and talking about House of the Dragon and knowing House of the Dragon is going to be in like 2 more years, it made me think, do I want to read/listen to the audiobook of...
Well, they just came out with a illustrated book of the Dance of Dragons.
Is it a pop-up book?
Miguel likes pictures.
Yeah. So if you unfold it, you can have Luke being eaten and uneaten.
Open and close.
Spoilers.
Hey. No, the real problem I have here is I enjoy coming week to week not knowing what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah,
for sure.
That's the problem. Like, of course, people come, they want to know more because we're the nerd, the center of all nerddom. We know everything, right? No, we don't. But, you know, we want to give out information, but I also just want to enjoy the show week to week instead of, you know, kind of being
we are also fans, you know?
We're also fans.
We just want to sit back and relax.
We want to take just like aimless predictions. And, you know, we want to build it up in our minds, and then when it's wrong, we want to get angry. Okay?
Exactly. We live on aimless predictions. We live on vibes. You know what I mean? That's what this podcast is all about.
Right. Nerd vibes.
Punch Drunk Nerd. We vibing. Great. So that was Correction Corner. Now we're going to jump into some news of the week. What do we want to start here? Star Wars, The Acolyte, it's a new show on Disney Plus, confirms casting as production begins. You might be asking, what the hell is The Acolyte? Well, I got the answer. Thank you, Miguel, for asking. You can put your hand down now. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. Now, the High Republic era, just so you know, happened 200 years before Star Wars that we know. This basically the Sith Lords are coming out. This is the end. The High Republic era is when the Jedi were at their prime 200 years before Phantom Menace. And now we're starting to see it start to crack and all the Sith Lords starting to come out. In this story, a former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes. But the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated. What's interesting is that this creator and showrunner and executive producer, Leslie Headland, did Russian Doll. So if you liked Russian Doll, look at this. Strap in. You're going to get a little bit more of that. Yeah,
I've heard that show's good. I haven't watched it.
Russian Doll?
Yeah.
I like season 1.
Do you watch it?
I like season 1. Season 2 got a little crazy for me, but I still liked it because I like Natasha Lyonne. You know what I mean?
Okay. Didn't Annie Murphy show up in season 2?
Annie Murphy? You mean from...
Who is
Annie Murphy.
Schitt's Creek?
Schitt's Creek. Did she?
Oh.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Clearly I haven't watched the show.
What's funny is
curious to see
predictions.
The other guy who was in Russian Doll, Charlie Barnett, is in this show as well. Also, Carrie Ann Moss is in it, and a bunch of other people.
Well, I wanted to point out, since we were talking about House of Dragons, that little what's his name, Dean Charles Chapman from Game of Thrones.
Who?
Who is that?
Who's Dean Charles Chapman?
He's the not Joffrey, the younger brother who kills himself.
Oh, the one that never did anything?
6, who jumps out the window.
Oh.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why am I blanking
glad he's
on
coming
his name?
back.
Yeah.
Well, he was also in 1917. So, he's growing up. He's becoming a man.
Yeah.
And he's going to be in Star Wars. But yeah, I'm going to...
There's also Daphne King, who was in Logan. Lee Jung-jae, Squid Games. I think he won like an Emmy, didn't he?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Let's go to the internet.
This is the center of all nerd news.
We know everything.
He's Tommen.
He won.
That's right.
King Tommen.
He won lead actor in drama series Lee Jung-jae in Squid Games. So we got a full cast here. Little tidbit. The High Republic. So I was reading the books of this when it first came out. This was a whole like campaign that Star Wars was doing. The literature side. They were basically like, we're going to make almost a literature campaign that's going to scope from adult books to young adult books to comics to kids books to manga to all these things. They wanted to create their whole other universe and thought they could do it 200 years before. So they created new villains. They created new storylines, and I wanted to jump right in on it. I collected the books, the comics, and then I just kind of peed it off because it was a little bit too much and a little bit felt too separated. It was a lot, and it felt a little bit too separated from Star Wars for me. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, well, how much of this was really George Lucas, But they did bring in a bunch of people who wrote a lot of Star Wars literature in the first place. So these were like big Star Wars people creating this universe called the High Republic era. And there were two bad guys in this time. One is this group called the Nile. They're a bunch of marauders. They live on the outer rim, and they can access the hyperspace like no one else can. So when you work on the hyperspace, there are paths that you have to take, like legitimate paths that, that are legal or that are been blazed. Like there's safe paths, because if you don't go the safe path, you can run into an asteroid belt, into a planet, into a star. You know what I mean? So they have special designed hyperpaths for hyperspeed. And this group, this evil villain, the Nile, they can travel hyperspace in all crazy, wacky ways. So they just show up out of nowhere, and they're like pirates long ago. They live in the outer rim where there's like no law at all. And they're the bad guys. And another bad group is the Drengener, I forget. But they're basically like these plant-based evil villains that are soaked in the dark force.
Plant-based. So hot right now.
And so they're like a hive mind. And I think the Sith maybe were trying to manipulate it. Either way, they couldn't even contain it. And the Drengener took over the Sith and were like destroying them. And the Sith were like, my God, this is too evil. We have to stop them with evil magic. So they imprisoned them on a ship. And now they're let loose. They're spreading around and they're eating people. But and they can manipulate the Jedi. So there are some comics and books where they're able to wrap them up, go into their brains and fuck with them and kind of like turn them evil, and like embed them with all this. Yeah, brainwash them, embed them with all this dark force. So I don't really know. I did read this because I was like, well, I want to know all the up and up when all the shows come out. Like I want to know what's up. I've given up a lot, but I do wonder if those villains are going to show up in the show The Acolyte. Okay, there's a little taste of the High Republic
That would be the
era.
spot. I'm not gonna lie. I would have jumped off so much sooner than you did. That was so much information. I was like,
it is so
that is
much.
a lot.
And they do it in phases. They're like phase 1, we're going to release like 2 books, two young adults, 2 kid books, 2 comic books, 2 sticker books, blah 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 blah, and they all connect. And
they still got to get that merchandise.
Yeah, and then there was phase 2 and phase 3, and I was like, my God, I can't keep doing this. Like I was reading these comics, there was too many of them, and I went to the comic shop to get my stuff, and they gave it to me. And like, yeah, I'm just gonna not read those anymore. You can take that off my list because it just became too much.
It's homework at this point. That's so much.
It is homework at this point.
That's a lot.
But the Acolyte set 200 years where the High Republic era, where the Jedi were running shit. Let's see what happens.
It would be nice to get a further glimpse into the Sith beyond who we know through Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Emperor Palpatine, and Kylo Ren.
200 years seems like such a hot prequel year jump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
exactly.
That's just far enough that we can get all these new characters, but close enough that we can be like, ooh.
But Yoda is still alive in these times.
Oh, fuck me. God.
So they have Yoda going with these kids. Like, let's go to the outer space, kids. And then they're
like, talk right, okay?
Yeah, talk.
You sound dumb.
Speak English.
Like they're little shits.
Far away.
They're Jedis, but they're still little shits. You're like, God damn it. Fucking punk.
I just hope that let's give the show a chance. I like the showrunner. I hope it doesn't get canceled because that'd be a terrible thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're going into production, so I mean,
you know who isn't?
I feel like this one's going ahead.
Going into production.
Who isn't going to production anymore?
Westworld, Luis.
What? What's going on with Westworld?
They got canceled.
Damn.
Dude, are you guys watching this show?
I watched season 1 and 2 episodes of season 2, and then I stopped.
Yeah, that's about where I left off too.
I watched all of season 2.
How was that?
I don't know if we talked about it.
I think we did.
It's good. It's a show with moments. It's a show with moments.
Is it good?
And the rest is
it's
blur.
Moments.
It's moments.
Yeah, it's a blur. It doesn't keep you gripped. It just keeps you confused and irritated.
Just give me clippets on TikTok. I'll watch it that way.
That's right.
Give me those moments on TikTok.
My attention span is already so small.
I mean, it is a shame because I've seen like interviews with the writers earlier this year before it got cancelled. They were saying, yes, we're going to wrap it with 5, and 5 is what is going to bring it all together.
Oof.
So maybe they had that, and the executives looked at it and were just like, no.
Yeah, I mean, they're cutting everything,
right?
Yeah.
Have you met Batgirl? Yeah, you guys go over there.
Well, I feel like some shows.
I hear they're. Go ahead.
Go. Well, I was gonna say, I feel like some shows are like, listen, man, your views are shit, but you're making kind of art. It's the Nolan people. You know what I mean? So we're gonna let this finish. It's sunken costs. We're committed to artists. And then David Zaslav's like, fuck this. Cut. I don't care.
They were like, David, watch season 1. He was like, no. Just cut it. I don't have time.
Look at the book. Watch the spreadsheet, huh? Look, where are you in the budget here, buddy?
He's like, oof, this is not good. But speaking of, I hear they're getting paid though. Like the 4 or 5 main cast members are getting paid for season 5, even though it got canceled.
Really?
So it's like, okay,
good for them.
Hey, you know what?
Your agents at
bittersweet,
work, right?
bittersweet.
It sucks because I like Aaron Paul, and I never got to see him in the show. Really, I mean, I guess I could start it, but I was like, that's cool, Aaron Paul. But then I never watched it.
Same. What I mean, Ed, you didn't get to that season either, did you?
No, I didn't. But I love it. Evan Rachel Wood, and
she's great.
I hope that she gets more stuff. Just in general, obviously she was like in Weird, but like I want her to. Get movies again. Like she's like one of the best actresses.
She was great in Weird.
I mean, that's pretty dope that she was in Weird though, because it's like a hot topic movie right now, and it's like, okay, if your show gets canceled,
and it's a comedy role,
at least you have like publicity going right now. That's good for you.
Exactly.
Oh, she's gonna be good.
Yeah. Oh no, she's always been good. It's just I want to see her, break free of the TV realm and I don't know, fly.
I'm trying to think, what movie has she been in? She's been in a movie, right?
She was in Across the Universe.
Across the Universe, yeah.
Weird.
She was in 13.
Mildred Pierce. 13. That's a rough one.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Evan Rachel Wood, the movie.
It's a good one.
Is that a real one?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. I fell for it.
Let's see. I'm sorry, Evan. Let's see. She was in The Phoenix Rising. She was in True Blood. She was in Across the Universe.
Oh, wow.
She was in Frozen 2.
Was she really?
Yeah.
Elsa and Anna's
right.
mother.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
What?
She's a good singer. Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. I saw her. They did a Quentin Tarantino musical where they combined all these different, like, all of his movies and songs into like a musical. And Evan Rachel Wood was like the lead in that here in LA. And it was so fucking cool to see her like sing and perform. And it was like a mishmash show.
That sounds kind of awesome.
It is. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. When was that?
I feel
that
like Tarantino's always
4 years ago.
Tarantino's always doing these like stage productions that you'd never get to see.
Yeah.
Unless you're cool enough to be there. You're like, God damn.
Yeah.
Unless you're in LA.
He's such an elitist.
Fuck you, Luis.
Did I tell you I got tickets to go see Joker, like a live orchestra of Joker from Hilder Gertenberg.
Oh yeah.
And then they canceled it, and Sarah had never seen Joker, and I thought, like, okay, well, I know you'll never see it because it's like super depressing.
So this would be like a fun way.
This would be a reason for you to watch, and the music is so good. Like,
yeah,
I called that it was gonna win for sure. Anyway, she won an Oscar, an award. She did, which is great. I think that was back
first female composer to do so.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
it took too long for that to happen.
Fucking A.
You know what's happening again?
What? What's happening again?
This is dumbass Jimmy Kimmel hosting the Oscars again.
Did he? How many times has he been hosting?
He's hosted this before, right? Or he just hosts a lot of shows.
This is his third time.
His third time, yeah.
Yeah. Cue eye roll and heavy sigh.
They do this, don't they do this where they really want to play it safe? Especially after last year's event, they always bring back. Okay, let's bring back the safe crew. Like, what's it called? Billy Crystal. You know what I mean? When things are bad, they brought Billy Crystal.
Wheel him back out.
I'd give my left nut to get Billy Crystal over Jimmy Kimmel. Good God,
that's true. Man,
that guy was way more entertaining.
I gotta say, like, I used to like Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, I used to think he was one of the better late night hosts too.
Yeah,
and maybe that's just like where he thrives or something. Is just in that format.
I don't really mind him too much.
I mean,
I think he's okay, but the last Oscars that he hosted was, and I mean, I guess it's really the Oscars' fault. They're just trying too much to make it a entertainment show as opposed to an award show.
Well, hang on. They kind of have to get the views.
Hang on a second. I do think the Oscars, as far as like an entertainment show, is kind of the place to do that, right? I mean,
is it though? Because the people who actually care to watch it are the people who, pay attention to the movies and want to. Mostly.
You know what? You bring up a good point. It is funny because the people who really do want to watch it are into it, and
they hate it when they just go off on these fucking bullshit comedy bits in between giving out awards.
Who doesn't love
It's like, all right, let's just try and.
Ed?
It's not even
a sketch.
Good, though. It's just like, and the actors hate it. You can tell just the way they read off of each other.
Okay.
It's just like these awkward back and forth.
Ranking.
Like, play. Yeah.
Here's a list I want from you, by next week, okay? Top five most entertaining skits at the Oscars, okay?
Oh. Hugh Jackman opening monologue.
So
I don't think
off the top of your head.
Yeah, that was the one I was going to say.
You said that. You said that.
Okay, but that was an opening, and that's like he stands still as one of the best hosts in the last maybe 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay, I lean more towards James Franco and Anne Hathaway, but
they hosted.
Yeah, they did.
I don't remember. I blocked that out of my memory.
Everybody did, especially James Franco and Anne Hathaway.
She deserved better.
It was bad. She did deserve better.
Did I tell you
should never have done
I'm coming around to Anne Hathaway lately. Did I tell you this?
I didn't know you were against Anne Hathaway.
Excited.
I didn't know you were vibing with Anne Hathaway.
Very respectfully. I'm just like, not. I was never like the biggest Anne Hathaway fan,
right?
I
thought you, but I guess it doesn't. I guess it doesn't help that she was in the worst Batman movie for you.
Now listen, she wasn't great in that one.
He hated her before that,
but that was long before. Yeah, long before. But I don't know. I don't know. She's honestly, I think she's just. I'm in the era where I agree with people, and they're like, she got too much hate, and I was like, you know what? She fucking did.
She got way too much hate.
Like she got
way too much hate.
If I don't like her in person, whatever. I don't like her in person, but she's probably not all that bad. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
People.
She's a talented actor,
and she's a talented actor. Like, I liked her in Interstellar. Some of her lines were bad, but it wasn't because of the way she acted.
Not her fault.
It was because
indeed.
That was kind of the shittiest part of the movie. Not her though.
Her scene in Les Miserables will make you cry every time.
Oscars.
That's true. She won an Oscar for that.
She did. Yeah.
And she was hilarious in Ocean's 8. Yeah. That was really when I started coming around. I was like,
she was really good in that.
Here she is having a good time. I can have a good time too. And actually, I'll say this for someone who didn't care for Anne Hathaway. One of my first movies, like on DVD, my mom got it for the house for Christmas. I'm gonna hide it under that so I don't sound like I got it for Christmas.
The
Devil Wears Prada?
No. It was before that. It was the Princess Diaries. Yeah. we got Jurassic Park 3, The Princess Diaries, and something else. My mom bought a DVD player for Christmas one year, and she was like, "Here are the movies I bought."
The ultimate trio.
What was your first DVD you bought or you got?
That was those for sure. It was for Christmas, and it was Jurassic Park 3. Princess Diaries, and I don't remember what the third one was.
What was yours, Ed?
Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World.
Was your first DVD?
Yeah. Why are you rolling your eyes? Put those eyes back.
This is such an Ed move, man. Like, Ed can't ever just watch.
I still got that same DVD.
I bet you do. You're looking at it right now, aren't you? You fucking
if I look over here to my left under M.
Go get it. Go get it and come back.
We should have a movie night at Ed's and watch the first DVD you bought.
Dude, he's got that big-ass sectional now. Just put it together. We'll all get a blankie, okay? And a little pillow, and we'll just be like, good night. Let's watch Master and Commander.
You're gonna have those reverse snuggies.
What's a reverse snuggie?
Wait,
just a blanket?
A snuggie. Yeah, you're right. A snuggie's just.
I was like, "What's out on a reverse snuggie?"
Don't they have ones where you can like put your arms in, like make like a bodysuit out of it? It's just like, at that point you're just wearing clothes.
That's. I have an outfit on.
Yeah. Snuggies.
No,
well, yeah, a snuggie. You know, a snuggie can also just be a bathrobe, just backwards.
Flip it around.
You got yourself a snuggie. Go to a hotel, steal a bathrobe,
and get a hotel. You got that little wet crack line in your bed because you didn't put on underwear. Ed, let's see it. You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
So there's definitely a gap where it should be, but I know exactly where it is.
Sarah took it. She took it. She's watching it at night.
Okay. My dad took it right between.
That's hysterical.
Right between L and Master.
You're like, now hang on a second. Right there, there's a movie missing.
No one is more ashamed and embarrassed than I am right now. So I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Sorry to my audience.
Thank you. Apologize harder.
To lying to you,
Luis. What was your first DVD?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I will say this. My dad bought Mission Impossible 2 for the house. That was the first one I remember.
Okay.
But the one that I bought at Best Buy was Shanghai Noon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a classic. Yeah. I tried to make Kristen watch it and she wasn't into it at all. And
really?
I was like, I'm going to divorce you.
So I listened to the director's commentary on that one. Because it was like my first one, and I was like, I'm gonna listen to it. And what's it called? Jackie Chan did Rush Hour, and it was his first American film, and he didn't do enough stunts, like martial arts stunts, and so he did Shanghai Noon as a way to correct that. Wow. He's like, I wasn't able to showcase everything that I could do in an American movie, so now I'm gonna do Shanghai Noon, and Shanghai Noon has all of these set pieces where he has like that anvil or that like horseshoe at the end of a string.
That was dope.
I mean? So it has all of these like different little things showing off his moves, more so than Rush Hour. And I was like, oh wow, I never knew that.
I'm kind of blown away that you just said Rush Hour was his first American movie. I mean, that's such a vivid movie for me. I can't believe that was his first one.
Well, everything else he did was outside of America. You know what I mean?
No, I get that.
Yeah. And they just dubbed it.
I've never seen Shanghai Noon, but I have seen Shanghai Nights.
Ooh, not as good.
Not by choice. Not as
good.
I saw it on a plane.
Not by choice. Every
just like
every countryman has shown it.
As you leave
on their 13th year or whatever.
On your way to America, you need a reminder of where you came from and where you're going.
And I saw a tweet today that I wanted to send you that was just like, never mind. It's
tweet at me. No, I want to hear.
I'll just send it.
No.
No, that it was just like, if you're gonna be British, don't do it around me.
Fair enough.
Shanghai Noon. Okay, I'm gonna throw that one out there. You should watch it. It's a really good one.
It's a good one. More than Shanghai Nights. Yes.
Way more. You would like. Well, whatever.
We should watch it together. Oh, I mean, we have so many movies we need to watch together. Let's quit our jobs and just watch movies.
We got like 6.5 hours set aside to watch Babylon and Avatar back to back. We're gonna have a busy Christmas. I've got 14 movies left on my movie list that I want to see in theaters.
Okay,
14.
Wait, what are yours?
At least
I have movies too. Where's my movies?
Mine is on a list on my computer at work.
Oh, okay.
But I can try and
wait,
for
just
big ones
off the top of your head.
Avatar, Babylon, The Whale, which we'll be talking about shortly.
Yeah.
The Fablemans.
Oh yeah.
Bones and All.
Oh yeah.
I do want to see that one.
Oh yeah. Empire of Light. Oh boy. Obviously Black Panther, which is coming up. I think that's one of them. Living. Fuck me. Decision to Leave. God, blimey. That's 9.
That's good.
Go no further, Ed.
No. I could do this. If you guys want to talk about something else, I'll come.
Just write it. Just write the rest down.
Yeah, I need to write it.
I want to watch Marcel the Shell. I want to watch. I want to watch Barbarian.
I need to watch Barbarian.
I
was talking about exclusively theaters, like for the rest of the year.
Oh, for the rest. Barbarian. This is the thing. I've been behind, so I've been glad that some of these are popping up now. See them run. Right, that's the one with. That's out now too. What else? I wanted to. I heard a lot of good things about not X, but the other one, the prequel to that movie,
Pearl.
Yeah. I heard a lot of good things about Pearl. And what else am I missing?
Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
That's gonna be good too. What's one that you? Of course, ones you've already seen, like Triangle of Sadness, Tar. Like I need to catch up, but now they're like. These movies came out a couple months ago. So now I'm like, okay, good. Now that's streaming. I'll have time to watch it. Hopefully I can watch a movie tonight. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a good time. What else do we got here? We got Winston Duke cast in The Fall Guy. Who put this in here?
I did. Winston Duke, we all know from Black Panther.
M'Baku.
Yeah, that one.
Nice.
And he's joining a stellar cast from the director of David Leitch, who just did Bullet Train, which I wasn't huge on, but Atomic Blonde and John Wick also. So, he's got some. And he's joining Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, who doesn't love Emily Blunt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is probably like one of the better things about Bullet Train, and Stephanie Hsu from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Wow. I really wanted to see Bullet Train too, but you talked me out of seeing it in theaters.
Dang,
yeah,
Ed.
I just don't think it was that. It was. I regretted paying money for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
They did not make the most of the action, the cast, or much else.
So no one was bad. It just wasn't a good product.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that'd be a way to put it. Yeah.
It seemed like it didn't reach its potential. Right. That's what you're saying. Like,
right. That's a good way to put it. Thank you.
It says Gosling, Fall Guy. You know, it's a famous thing. But if you don't know, Gosling is on a battered and past hits. Gosling is on as a battered.
There you go.
As a battered and past his prime stuntman who finds himself back on a movie with the star he worked with long ago and who replaced him. The problem, however, that the star is now missing.
Ed, did you write that?
I copied and pasted it.
Okay, I was like, but props to
eloquent
you.
As fuck, right?
It sounded just like you wrote that. I was like, yeah, Ed would write this. This is
Ed.
Something about is on. Gosling is on as a, yeah.
I'm really good at writing log lines. You know, leave it to me.
No, I see it. Honestly, when I saw this, I thought it was the Fall Guys. Like we were making a movie about the Fall Guys.
The video game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, Ryan Gosling is like kind of on a vibe right now. He would do
totally.
that.
He did Detective Pikachu. He can do the Fall Guys.
That's right.
Speaking of Ryan Gosling.
No, wait, that was Ryan Reynolds.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling is in Barbie. That's what I was saying. No, you confused me for a second. I was like, oh yeah, he was in that one. Wait a second. No, he wasn't.
That'd be such a weird vibe.
Well, speaking of another Ryan Reynolds' director friend Shawn Levy is working to develop and direct a Star Wars film. Shawn Levy is going to do this after Deadpool 3 and Stranger Things' final episodes. He produces Stranger Things with the Duffer Bros. Duffy Bros? Duffer. The Duffer. Duffer.
Right?
I defer.
I thought it was Duff.
Duff? Those are... No, it's not a Duff.
Look it up. Let us know.
That's Sarah's parents, the Duffs.
Yeah, we
Sarah's
all have
parents
computers here, but we refuse to use them.
No, it's the Duffer Boys.
I don't want to close the window on my face.
It's the Duffer Brothers. Look, I'm going to look it up right now. Stranger Things. Yeah.
You locked eyes with yourself again?
Duffer Brothers. I was right the whole time. Okay. So Shawn Levy, he produces it. He's going to do all that after Deadpool 3. It's crazy. I feel like Star Wars is always like moving and grooving. They're like, you're doing a Star Wars movie. Never mind. You're doing a Star Wars movie. Never mind. It's a shifting sand situation over there. Speaking of shifting sands, Disney Plus is working on an Indiana Jones TV series. I'm kind of confused about this one because Harrison Ford is coming back, and we don't know if it's a prequel, a sequel, a spinoff, a tie-in, but I really don't think this is necessary. But money. Money.
Yeah, but you know what's annoying though is how many times have they said in recent history that nobody else can play indie? And I remember in the 90s, 80s, I think it was, they had that show, Young Indiana Jones.
Yes.
The Adventures of.
And Indiana Jones was an older guy who had an eye patch.
Yeah, he makes a cameo in it. Like Harrison Ford actually shows up in it at one point. But so I'm wondering if that's how they're going about it. All that to say is Kathleen Kennedy is a liar. Just like leave the properties alone, but of course they cannot.
I didn't realize you were one of those, Ed. Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm just as far as these like shows go, I'm just like
I will say we're living in the age of prequels. You know what I mean?
We are indeed,
and it would be nice. It would be nice if Indiana Jones was its own thing. All right, recast him, do a young Indiana Jones, whatever. Yeah. Do like a solo episodic, like every episode is something new, whatever.
Adventure of the week.
That's what I was trying to say.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I just imagine it's going to be a prequel, and it's just going to be more of the same.
Right.
But
Speaking of prequels, HBO has got their Dune prequel.
Oh,
Dune.
God.
And that one is set 10,000 years before
Wow.
Dune. It's based on the novel,
years.
The Sisterhood
So
of
high.
the Sisterhood,
So
the Sisterhood of Dune. They've cast already includes Emily Watson, Shirley Henderson, and Indira Varma.
I got to go back and watch that movie, y'all.
man, you really should. I think you should.
I really want to see the
good
second one. It feels like an incomplete movie, to be honest.
Yeah,
It does not feel like a complete.
I didn't finish it, so.
but I'm excited
It's
for more.
literally.
I'm excited to see the second one. In fact, you could just watch it back to back because it did not feel like.
I'll just
Those are
wait.
my thoughts.
Okay.
Speaking of more spin-offs, speaking of more things to happen, Keanu Reeves is in talks to return as John Wick in the spin-off Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas. I guess he wasn't gonna show up, but I mean, it makes sense. Why would John Wick not show up in the spin-off? Ian McShane is going to be a pivotal role in this. He's obviously the hotel manager. He's like the hotel boss.
Yeah.
And Ballerina's in production with John Wick 4 coming out March 24th, 2023, the first of a 2-part finale. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all of our news. And you know what happens after news, everybody? Trailers. We got a couple trailers here to talk about, and I'm going to pass the mic to Ed.
Hey, still coming up with my list, but that's okay. Here I come.
Trailers, Ed.
Trailers, here we go.
This is your moment.
So one of these movies is what I just recurred to me as one I wanted to see in theaters. The Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery from Rian Johnson. We just got a full official trailer this time. Last trailer, we just kind of got introduced to the characters. And
That was a teaser, right?
Yeah. It was a long one, though. It was like
It was a long. I thought that was the official. I was surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
When you put
Well,
this
here's
up.
another one. I guess, they ramp up the trailers as they get close to
That's
release,
true.
don't they?
Oof. Unless you're Marvel, then you release a video every freaking day.
Jesus Christ, yeah. But yeah, anyway, so this kind of gives like a bigger look at the overall story and relationships with everybody, and it just, again, looks like a lot of fun. A good caper.
It does.
With old Benoit Blanc.
Benoit Blanc. It's really well edited too. It's so fun. It makes me want to watch it right away. Just like the way they cut it together.
Yeah, Miguel, let's hear your Benoit Blanc.
Benoit Blanc. I only did it.
That's good.
I only did it based on you guys. I haven't seen the first movie in a minute. We tried to watch Knives Out on Netflix, and it's not on Netflix.
No, it was on Amazon Prime for the longest time.
Not now, baby. It's not now, baby.
No.
I actually didn't watch this trailer. I saw the teaser a month or two ago, and I was just like, okay, that's all I want to watch. You know, we're already gonna watch this movie for sure.
We're on board. Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like it really didn't even spoil that much. It felt
I was kind of worried, but I didn't.
No, it didn't spoil anything at all. It's like the same vibe, same thing, but just a little bit of a different angle and perspective, if that makes sense.
I'm kind of just turning into Luis as I get older, though. You know what I mean? Remember, Luis, you went through that time? No.
I'm just kidding, Luis. I'm just kidding.
That was hurtful to Luis.
I didn't hear what you said, so I'm going to replay this and then cry as I edit this video.
You did it, but Luis, you did an era, a time where you didn't watch trailers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would just go in blind, and I'm kind of coming into that mode recently. I'm like, all right, I'll watch a teaser here or there, but I don't want to be spoiled too much. I just want to go on vibes. Baby.
Yeah.
I will say, Luis, you mentioned that movie, Barbarian.
Yeah.
I still don't know anything about that movie. I've never watched the trailer.
Yeah.
And initially I had no interest in it. But then people just started raving about it. So I'm keeping the status quo and trying to see it.
It just
unspoiled.
It just came on HBO Max or something recently, right?
Honestly, I'm going to try to watch it tonight after this podcast.
Ooh, I will not. If I stay up, I'm playing God of War.
I
stay up, I'm watching
Should
Andor.
I do that instead? We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
I tell you what, I did watch this next trailer on our list. Did you guys watch this one?
No, actually.
Did
I'll
you
take
not
it away.
read it?
Of course I
Take it away, Miguel. Zootopia Plus, you guys, we're getting a Zootopia little spinoff.
Prequel.
I got your prequel.
400
Zootopia...
years before Zootopia.
Shut the. You're like, ooh, there's like hints of a bunny.
The first bunny.
The synopsis says it's the adventures of creatures of the most incredible metropolis, Zootopia. It's 6 episodes. I was watching the trailer. Kristen, the boy, me, we were all watching it. And I was kind of playing on my phone at the same time, but I looked up at one point and I realized they were doing, hey, that's what I do, baby. That's what I do. I'm on my phone right fucking now. You know what I'm saying? No, and I saw that they were bringing back that like Italian mouse daughter, and then as like a reality TV, not
the Real
Housewives or whatever.
Yeah,
and I was like, I immediately hooked on. And I said, oh, it's like a different episode every episode, and they're doing fun shit with it. I don't need to know anything else. Like Zootopia is one of the better ones, so I'll watch this.
On the same family, they're doing a riff on The Godfather Part 2.
Yes.
Where they put like the kind of sailing to Zootopia, or like immigrated from wherever, and his rise to crime or whatever. Those two for sure. I'm like most interested in.
I'm kind of.
I think those are the top two.
I think.
It was so much fun, and I feel like Zootopia. I don't know, like people liked it, but you don't hear people talk about it that much.
But I think Disneyland, it's a fun world.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one that I always put on when we want something light and we're cleaning the house. You know, we just put it on in the background, and it's just it's a light one. And it's a character. I mean, you know, you go to Disneyland, they have like the little fox guy. He's there.
For real?
Yeah, he's
Dash,
like there. He's like in a
right?
No,
that's the sloth.
He's like in a popsicle stand. He's like, "Hello." Well, he does not talk because they don't talk. But you know, he projects with his.
I think we're definitely going to watch this one in my house. So, looking forward to it. 6 episodes, Disney Plus, coming soon.
When is that coming out? Oh, okay.
It's not written down.
Oh yeah, when is it coming out?
I didn't put this doc together.
I did. Zootopia Plus release date. Arrive in spring. Wait, what? Oh, it was scheduled to arrive in spring 2021.
Oh.
However, the series suffered from some delays, but it was revealed
the animals were sick from COVID.
It's COVID love, isn't it?
Yeah, and Shakira's dealing with some legal problems in Spain.
Hey, she beat that case, all right?
Oh, good for her, you know.
She did.
Wait,
she came out, and all the fans were like, Shakira! And she was like, hello.
Did you know who wrote that song in Zootopia that Shakira sang?
Beyonce.
Was it Shakira?
No. It was Sia.
Somebody from Disney.
Sia. Now that makes sense. Sia does that. That's like
Sia does that. Sia writes songs for other people, for Rihanna too.
She wrote
I love
Diamonds. Sia. Diamonds for Rihanna.
Wow.
I thought that Chandelier was actually a Rihanna song until somebody pointed out that it was not.
Now, hang on a second.
Miguel, I think it was you.
You mean you were listening to that song and you thought, God, Rihanna sounds so good right now?
Yeah. Yes.
And then apparently I was like, that's Sia, you dumb fuck.
You listened to that song blind, not knowing who Sia was. Okay. And just imagine Rihanna singing it.
Maybe
it's a very.
That's why she wrote for Rihanna.
I want to say, right?
Maybe Rihanna said, "No, you sing it."
I want to say she wrote that song for someone else, and then because she was just like nailing it, they were like, "Why don't you just sing this?"
That's such a great music video too. We're going on a tangent.
Wait, really? I haven't seen it. Oh yes, I have. Is that the one with
the chandelier?
The dancer?
Yeah,
the Shia,
that's
right?
Great. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I will say it's also one of the best The Voice performances. I'm blanking on his name. Jordan Smith or Schmidt?
Wait, no, not Shia's not in here.
From the chandelier.
Shia LaBeouf is the other one.
No, Ed, I'm going to send you the link. It doesn't sound anything like that.
Well, of course not.
Zootopia
sounds good.
Zootopia Plus
is actually we record on a Wednesday. It's actually out right now.
Hell yeah!
You know who isn't in Zootopia? Because
Who
it's
is
a land. It's a land-centered place.
Well, which animal is it?
It's a whale.
Oh, the whale.
Played by Brendan Fraser. Yes, indeed. The much-anticipated trailer for the much-anticipated movie to the much-anticipated return of Brendan Fraser finally came out today. Or it wasn't today, it was a couple of days ago.
That was one for the books, man. I gotta say, that was a top-notch transition.
That was good.
No, it was rocking.
I can't believe
just like his career.
We've been talking about the whale for the better part of 2022. You know what I mean?
And that they've only dropped a trailer.
Just now, in November,
That's Darren Aronofsky for you.
And the trailer didn't even have full scenes. It was like vignettes, like small ass clips. If you put the clips together, it would probably be like 10 seconds long of just.
I liked it. I said,
I think a majority of this.
Possible.
It's almost set in a singular location, from my understanding. So, what's to show it's going to be an emotional ride, and people are really going for his performance.
He said like 2 lines, and it was like, "My God, give him an Oscar."
I thought you were doing like
the whale.
My God.
No.
My God.
That's the biggest fucking whale I've ever seen.
Oh, it's me.
The whale.
The whale.
No, I thought it looked good. It was, A24. Who gives a fuck? You're just gonna see the movie. Don't act like you're not. Did you guys see Bodies?
No. Did you see Bodies? I think that's out now too on streaming.
I need HBO to go back to that.
That's another one I need to watch.
Did Zaslav, did he cut that, the A24 release, where we were going to get like...
No, they're still getting it. They've just kind of been rotating them out.
They're rotating out? I thought I was
Why are you
like
rotating shit out? Just put it on there.
Just A24 to keep it... I'm assuming...
What's interesting? Let it stream. Let us choose.
Like they released... no, I agree. I absolutely agree. I want all of my A24 content on one streaming service.
Fuck a Criterion subscription. I want an A24 one. Okay? Like, today.
Let's not talk shit about
on
Criterion.
Site. No, fuck Criterion.
Tyrion?
However you say it.
Tyrion from Game of Thrones.
I gotta cry, you can Tyrion. All right? I don't give a fuck.
All right. I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, The Whale is about an obese and reclusive English teacher tries to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter for one last chance of redemption. It sounds very similar to the plot of The Wrestler, also directed by Darren Aronofsky. So at the end, I expect Brendan Fraser to be on a pole.
He's gonna,
and then freeze frame on his diving. and he actually kills somebody.
he just busts right through the floor. And there's like a Acme Looney Tunes size hole in the fucking floor.
Oh my God. This is a serious movie. Okay.
We're gonna get the laughs out. Oh man.
I can't believe we got Ed on a wheeze.
Camera's shaking. Oh, he turned the camera.
You guys watch along at youtube.com/@punchdrunknerd_ @punchdrunknerd.
You nailed it. Speaking of, this episode of Punch Drunk Nerd is sponsored by Punch Drunk Nerd. This is a reminder for you to leave a comment, put some stars, put some thumbs up, please, people. We are but a humble channel. Any likes, any comments, any of that will help the algorithm suck us up and spit it back out to the people so that they can consume us.
Probably a better way to phrase that, but
I think it was the best way. Okay. Punch Drunk Nerd
baby.
At youtube.com/@punchdrunknerd. We're on Spotify.
_ suck us up.
Yes. Suck us up. We're at iTunes. Like, subscribe, all of those things. We don't do it often. We don't say it often because we don't want to annoy you. But sometimes we got to bring the sponsorship up.
I do want to point out, like, we opened this episode talking about Philip and his comment on our YouTube. So it's like, we're baby enough. Like, we will talk about you. If you comment on any of our streams, honestly, we will reference it. Please.
And when we get popular, we'll forget where we came from.
That's right. Philip can go fuck himself.
No, Philip.
No, I'm just joking.
Not really Philip. Sorry.
Philip's a cornerstone founder. If you're listening, Philip.
Philip, dude, I'm doing a bit right now, but seriously, thank you. Thank you for commenting. Okay.
Well, that wrapped up the news, and of course, we don't have feature discussion this week. We're keeping it chill. Next week, we will be doing a feature discussion on Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So you can tune in to hear that. Go get your tickets. Cinemark, AMC, Alamo Draft House. What else?
Damn, you kind of hit like all three of us.
That's the main Lowe's Theater.
Wow.
Edwards
You
Marquee.
would.
Regal. Yeah,
Regal Cinema.
It is my brand.
R.I.P. Arclight. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's coming back.
Miguel, what have you been into?
Okay, here we are. We're in the segment. This is what we're into. God, it just moves so quickly when you just are having a good time with your bros.
Yeah.
You guys, I'll tell you what I'm watching.
What is it?
The Watcher.
What is it?
Bro, are you guys watching this on Netflix?
No, but I've heard everybody talk about it.
I've heard no one talk about it.
It's a hot show. It's a hot show. In fact, I'm behind. You know what I mean? Like
that's on Netflix. How can you be behind?
Well, in the sense that it's been out for a couple weeks now, and people have been talking about it. So it's
30 over it.
Like I said earlier, we're fans. You know what I mean? We're not finger on the pulse. We're more of a let's let it simmer for a bit, and then we watch.
That's good.
The Watcher. It's a show on Netflix. It stars Naomi Watts and Cannavale.
Son of a bitch.
Bobby Cannavale.
Bobby. I wanted to say Brandon. Bobby Cannavale. Is that how you would say that, Ed?
Cannavale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it a little bit more like Cannavale? Yeah. Anyway.
Well.
Is it Bobby Cannavale?
I thought Cannavale was more like Brazilian.
It's Cannavale, right?
Yeah, okay, Cannavale. Excuse me.
Because he's Italian.
Sarah did a scene with Bobby. Okay.
Didn't she? I was just about to say. Ooh.
I had to ask her.
Have her come on and tell us about it. Have her come on and tell us about it real quick.
Is she busy? Are you busy?
Is she busy?
Do you want to talk about your experience with Bobby?
He's nice.
He was very nice, she said.
Okay, that's fine. Listen, I was thinking...
Hold on. Say it loudly.
Wait. Was he
asked me about Houston and my family. He was a real stand-up guy. He looked me in my eyes and stuff.
Aww.
Yeah.
Stand-up guy. That's what you want to hear about Bobby Cannavale.
Exactly.
That is...
Yeah. Because sometimes you go on set and they're like, "Oh, I'm too big for you." You know what I mean? I don't know. Look at you in the eyes, and he sounded like a kind hearted.
But he was
soul.
chill. He was hanging out.
Chill. Yeah. So we like Bobby.
That's cool. Shout out Sarah. Yo, I was thinking, you guys, when we come back and we're gonna be in Texas for Christmas. We're gonna do like a live episode. We should do our very first
spouses
Patreon exclusive episode where we get the ladies of the podcast, the queens, where we get them on and have them do a whole segment, news. Feature discussion, what we're into.
We won't be there.
And we won't be there. Just them.
Yeah.
Get the Sarahs on it now, okay?
So The Watcher, you guys you and your queen are watching it.
My queen. Yeah, no, we're we're watching The Watcher. Listen, I've been thinking about this all day long. I don't know how to say this, but someone told me I was so hooked on the show. And then the ending was terrible. And so now all I've been thinking the entire time watching it was like, okay, is this the episode where it starts getting bad? If you don't know, it's about a family that moves into like this rich, aristocratic white neighborhood. They spend way too much money that they even have to get into this like mansion of a house. And then the like week after they move in, they start getting these strange letters from the Watcher. And it's, he's saying, I'm watching your house and I've been watching your house. I'm a part of a society that watches your house. And
a society that watches the house?
Every 20 or 40 years, a new watcher comes along and we're on the centennial or something. And the house wants young blood. And you have children, so we're going to feed off them. That's what the show starts as. And then it just I will say this, it has gotten a little rocky. I'm almost done. I'm about an episode and a half away from the end. Some kind of random ass straws we're drawing. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay, that's the direction we're going. I tell you what, though, pop culture, the internet.
Yeah.
They're talking about it. You got to watch it.
So Ryan Murphy is one of the creators on it.
That's right.
I feel like he's got the idea, the spark of an idea, but then sometimes doesn't follow through.
I will say for a Ryan Murphy show, there are other directors that are directing these episodes and producers, and it does not necessarily feel like a 100% Ryan Murphy production. It's grounded for the most part. There's it is I would say maybe the most grounded Ryan Murphy production. You know what I mean? And a lot of good character actors. You guys watch BoJack Horseman where they talk about character actor Margot Martindale. Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
Nope.
No.
Margot Martindale. If you saw her face, you would be like, oh yeah. She looks like Miss Smith. Ed, you remember Miss Smith?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Bro, that's what I'm fucking talking about. Okay, For anyone listening, me and Ed just had a moment. Richard Kind, Bobby Cannavale, Naomi Watts.
Richard Kind, Jennifer Coolidge
having a moment right now in our house in the Sanchez household. We're watching. We're also watching White Lotus.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, we've only watched episode 1, so we got to catch up. We're mainly doing The Watcher. But you guys, I don't want to talk about The Watcher.
What do you want to talk about?
And Luis, I know you see me talking about it because I got it on this note right here, but I'm actually going to take it a step back. You guys, real quick, I'll preface it by saying God of War Ragnarok just came out.
Yes.
And a couple of us are playing it.
Yes.
But before I even talk about that, Luis.
What?
You finished playing God of War, the original 2018.
I did. I did.
We didn't. Did we talk about this already?
We did talk about it on the podcast.
I'm drunk most of the time. I'm just gonna be
blacked out. I mean, look, I still have my notes about.
I just want to ask. I just want to ask a couple of, because I know Ed also watched a recap video, so I just thought we could do just a recap of our thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, the main thing I want to talk about is the ending. Okay. Where the twist being that Atreus is Loki. And
is that confirmed?
And that yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It is. It's hard confirmed. One of the most touching moments of that entire story.
He finds out at the end that his mom was a giant, and that they prophesied. It's not funny. It is. It's true. She was a giant.
I was about to say,
this is the realest shit.
His mother was a whore. That's
although she lived in the top of a beanstalk.
Is she a baby giant? Because she's not a giant. You know what I mean?
She's like Hagrid, half giant.
She's you don't see half human and half giant?
Yeah, it's something like that, right?
Faye is half human, half giant.
Atreus, he's like a quarter giant.
Okay.
But no, that's one of the biggest moments of the story is when you going on this whole journey to bury her ashes or whatever, and you realize
her ashes.
Sorry, whatever adjective.
Bury and spread are two different things.
just zhuzh them on the ground.
I like that. We can zhuzh them.
The little
the salt thing. Could you imagine if Kratos was like?
XXXXXXX.
Boy, give me that.
No, that was one of the things that and the post-credit scene where Thor shows up.
Bro, I didn't even get to that point. I got to the end of the game I'm done, threw my controller, and then I was I'd like a recap of the game because it took me weeks to play it. And then it said and at the end, Thor shows up. I'm like, what the fuck? I missed that.
Bro,
it's you got to walk back to your home. I was like, I'm not walking back to my home. The game's over. The credits rolled.
Luis, I don't even want to know if you finished Last of Us. Okay?
I still haven't, but it's okay. I'm going to do it. It's a tough time. God of War. But, listen, it was good. It was a good time. It had a lot of great action set pieces.
Yeah.
It had. I was saying in the last one, it just scaled really good. Like all these big bosses, like the dragon when you're floating on the boat.
Absolutely. What I was going to tell Ed before we started recording was when I was telling him, because he watched a recap of the first game, I was telling him, like, I thought they did a really good job about showing all the big moments and streaming them together without really spoiling too much. But that was the vibe I got from the whole game. At the end of it was just like the game never felt like it was it was over. It was like, damn, we're really going. We're going to like another moment, and every moment was earned. And I think that's why I was most excited to play the new one.
If you had not played God of War, play God of War. It is so good. It is the best.
But also,
game.
Luis, shout out IGN, because that video they did was really good. You guys can watch it if you don't want to actually play the game. You can watch the recap.
They did a good job.
Okay, God of War Ragnarok. Luis,
but I did have a question. There's some parts about that story in God of War, like the son,
Go ahead.
like him getting sick because he didn't know he was a god, and then once he found out that he was a god, he wasn't sick anymore.
Baby, that's one of the things you just gotta let go, baby.
I know.
You know.
I was watching that recap, and
I know what you mean.
There's that one part where, like, where Kratos is like letting go of his past. He's admitting that of the mistakes he made. He unwraps the bandages when he's up in the cliff, and he lets the bandages goes. He has that moment. And then his son's like, "Dad, what are you doing? We got to get moving." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you saying, bro?" Yeah,
dude. I didn't. When you watch like the supercut of all the big moments, you kind of realize like, "Oh, this is silly." Kind of back to back. There are really good moments, but they do kind of rush it. In the moment, though, you're like, "Yes, baby, Kratos, let them chains go." Yeah. And then Atreus is pretty much an asshole through most of that game.
Yeah.
So in spirit, he had to have been an asshole in that moment.
But no, it was cool, and also, it's great. It's a great game. They showed the blades. I didn't know anything about the previous games, but it felt like a great tie-in to the old games and the new God of War.
But at the same time, like when they referenced those games, you know what I mean? Did you feel like you at least understood, like in the point of the story?
They did a good job. They did a good job of like giving me context without me playing those games at all. So if you're worried, like, oh, I haven't played the old God of War games, I think that's okay. You can just jump in.
I was watching it, and when they showed the clip of him in hell, and they like do the vision of him killing Zeus, and it felt like those PlayStation 2 graphics in a vision. You know what I mean? You were like, oh, okay. So I'm feeling like the callback to the old games without it being too crazy.
But that was God of War, came out 2018. God of War Ragnarok just came out.
2022. Luis, real quick, I told you before we started, I texted you and I told you spoilies. That I got all the way to the part where he fought Thor just in the intro.
It's the
Thor
intro.
Fight.
1 hour. We both played 1 hour into the game, you and me.
So
we're at the same spot.
Yes. Okay, good. That's what
I played it. I think I played it. I don't know when I played it. Maybe yesterday I played it. And I played an hour, and I was like, okay, I don't think Miguel's going to get farther than this. So I got to a good stopping point.
Burn.
Well, I mean, dude, I had access to it at 10 o'clock last night. This is Wednesday when we're recording. I had access to it at 10 o'clock last night. I was already in bed. I got work in the morning. You know what I mean? I'm 30 plus, bitch. But no, so tonight, I actually had time when I got home. I had a couple hours, and I just sat down and between me taking care of my son and feeding him and pausing every like 5 minutes, I got about an hour into the first level. So, dude, I'm kind of hyped. I mean, I texted Luis. Can we talk about this? One of the opening set pieces is you fighting this bear. Spoilies. Listen, you guys, real quick. I'm not going to say it again. Spoilies. Okay?
Yeah.
In the opening level, basically, you fight this bear, this big ass bear, felt like the fucking Revenant, and he was chewing me up, killing me.
Dude, he was knocking me down.
Bro. Oh, I wanted to ask you. I thought about this as I was fighting this fucking bear. Luis, when you started the game, what level did you set it on? I did level.
I just did the middle level.
The balance, the normal middle range, the mid guard range.
Midgard,
okay.
balanced,
Yeah, no, that's what I did too. But I got to be honest, I'm a little bitch. I don't give a fuck. I would bounce it down to, you know what I mean, just like the story mode if I could.
Yeah.
After fighting that fucking bear, I was like, okay, this is. I hate this.
At our age, I got things to do. Okay? I need to beat this bear. I got to get going.
I had to pause that. I had to pause that one fight like 3 times to be like, eat your dinner to my son. Yeah. So I don't have time.
Dad, why are you yelling? Bark!
Yo, I had him set up. Yo, I'm a bad parent. Judge me at Punch Truck Nerd. I had my son playing on his iPad, just watching a movie while I was playing the video game. And my wife is always like, don't play that game in front of him. It's so violent. And I'm like, it's
I know,
fine.
especially the bear.
He's not paying attention. It's fine. But like, as I'm like beating the shit out of this bear, he paused the iPad and was like, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. And then I swear to God, my son said, you're playing a game. I'm giving it a little bit more. He's like, you're playing a game that's not nothing. I was like, okay, 4-year-old, calm the fuck down.
Whoa.
And he was like, show me, I want to watch. I was like, no. And then I beat the shit out of that bear. But the thing that fucked me up the most, Ed, spoilies, take your headphones off.
Do I really have to?
No. I just thought you'd play along.
Yeah.
When, Ed, just put it back on. Put it back on. Oh. When that bear turned out to be his son Atreus, I was like, what the
fuck? Son of a bitch.
Ed, it's the opening level.
It's the opening level.
Still, yeah. I texted Luis in that moment, and I was like, I literally gasped.
Yeah,
because you kill this bear, this big ass bear.
I was ready to kill that fucking bear.
They set up the whole level that he's already killed this really big bear, okay, and he's killing all these other things like this trail of blood you have to follow, and then you fight this big ass bear, and then right as you kill it, he Thanos dusts into Atreus, and you're like, his son. Shit, he can do that.
Right.
He can like turn into animals and
You're
shit.
starting to see his son develop these powers of being a god, of being.
Is there context to that though, or is he just like you go from the last game to this game?
And so, there's a whole game's worth of context, Ed.
I mean, exclusively
you learn
to the conflict, from them to being father and son to him fighting him as a bear.
I'll give it to you. So during the first game, you learn that he's got this like connection to animals. And one of his like special powers is like he can create these like ghost wolves or whatever. Or whenever you come across a creature, the character, he'll like kind of have a conversation and he'll be like, what did you guys say? You guys didn't hear that? And you realize like he's got this ability to like speak to animals. So like one of his like at his core, his gifts is like this whatever. He's like in tune with animal spirits, and so in this game, because he's become a god and he's like starting to grow older and like learn his powers, that now the next step is like he can turn into animals. Like Loki is a trickster, so how like Loki, like think about Avengers, like Loki turns himself into different characters or whatever, he like morphs into them, and that's what Atreus is doing at the beginning of this game.
Okay.
And what happened was, so in the beginning of God of War 2018, like it ends on a very like sad thing where Kratos' wife is dead, and they're doing this funeral. That's the whole point of the story. They're burying the ashes. Scattering the ashes. I said bury. And so
jizzing the ashes.
And in this one, it starts off again with a death. With one of the wolves passing away, Atreus was close to this wolf, so he's kind of like depressed, and he goes away, and then he's missing, and we don't know where he is, and so we're thinking that this depression kind of triggered the bear with the anxiety of meeting another bear. You know what I mean? It was like a lot of emotions just kind of triggered. It's a Superman effect of like you have these powers, but you don't know how to handle them. Kind of situation, and so you come across that where like Atreus doesn't know how to handle his powers.
So, Luis, let me ask you this: as you've played the first game, you did the recap or whatever. I mean, straight away, let me ask you this: did you feel like it I fit into this world 100%. It just feels like I'm picking the axe back up. Or did you feel like there was like a slight difference to it?
Well, I mean, it was a couple months ago since I played, but it did feel like I'm getting right back in the groove of things, which is pretty cool. For me, it did.
I definitely feel like they're like, this is the same world that you ended on, and we're about to like span off into the new realms or whatever. I don't know. I think I'm just very like harshly judging it straight away. You know what I mean? I just feel like, oh, okay, there's like a couple things like Kratos, he like smirks at one point. Atreus does something good, and he turns and then he looks back and he's like,
he picks up a deer or something like that.
Yeah. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, like time is advanced. I got to get used to this like new dynamic. Like Atreus is like 14.
Atreus is like 14 now.
I was like, no, call him boy again.
Boy.
boy. No, I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. I was going on a tangent. What'd you think about Thor?
Yeah, so I want to talk about combat real quick. When I saw Thor and he's like, "Come on, I thought you were supposed to be good. What happened?" You know, I was like, and I had this inclination to use the Leviathan, which is the axe that he has. You know what I mean? That he just uses. So I'm going in there trying to cut him up with this thing, and it's not causing any damage. And so I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. Put the axe away, and I'm just punching him. Punch. And I was stunning him. So he would do these attacks, and I would just dip, roll, punch, roll, punch. Just time it out, you know, because he kept hitting me with those big impacts, and stun him enough to do that like R3 move where you just like do the super, I don't know, attack. But that was the only way I survived Thor. I kept dying because I kept trying to use the axe. I couldn't use the axe on him. Really?
One of the coolest moments in that was he kills you at one point, and they do the whole like cut to the menu. Like, oh, you died. Press X to continue. And before you can press X, he's like, I didn't tell you to die, and he shocks you back alive.
Yes,
and they cut you right back into the game. Dude, I was not expecting that at all, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm in this. Let's go.
Yeah,
dude,
that was a good moment.
It also mirrors the Baldur fight in the first game, where you're fighting the big bad boss. There's a lot of mirroring happening.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say, like, I thought that was okay. That helped me like focus in. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get through this, and then I'm gonna get to the story, and I'm gonna see him later. We talked about this at one point. I can't remember on the podcast or just together. What do you think about them saying they're not setting up a trilogy? This is the sequel and possibly like the end. What do you think about that?
I mean, I guess it's kind of sad that whatever I finish will be the end of it all. But I guess they said that because they didn't want to stretch it too long. They were like, we don't want people to wait for the story to end in years and years and years. We want to give people it to them right away, you know? How do you feel?
I definitely think they are going to find a way to spin this story off into a third game, whether it's following Atreus, depending on what happens in this story. But also, Kratos has a line in the very beginning where he's like, I don't believe in prophecies. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay, that's kind of a way for them to be like, oh, maybe we can clutch onto that and say like, oh, we fulfilled this prophecy, but we can bend it a different way or whatever. I don't know.
We'll see. I also think that there's an opportunity. People love money. This thing's going to make money. And you know what that means?
Sequels.
Movies.
But they've been talking about God of War movie for a while,
Netflix is doing a God of War show, I'm pretty sure.
Really? I think you're right.
Yeah. In the same vein as The Witcher, Netflix was like, what can we do? What properties can we do?
Whoa.
Netflix is also doing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Really?
Yeah. Which that may be them being like, well, we're doing Resident Evil, so let's do these other video games. But then Resident Evil
wasn't good.
It got canceled right away. So they may throw that by the wayside. But that is at least the plan, I believe.
God of War, super excited to keep playing. Good. IGN has some great like non-spoilery like things to start out, like combat things to look out for that the game doesn't tell you, things to level up on. I watched it. I'm grateful for it. Definitely going to be something that I'm focusing on as I play it.
Yes.
We're gonna keep talking about it. Me and Miguel. We might have some moments where we chime in. Maybe we talk about it at the very end of the podcast.
At the very
people
end.
Don't want to get spoiled.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. But that was the first hour of God of War Ragnarok. I'm excited. I'm super excited to keep playing. I can't wait to.
I'm excited for you guys. You know what?
Thank you.
We've been talking about this game for a long time, and from everything I see, it looks phenomenal.
It just everything flows so nicely to it, and it has all these like clever combinations of like all the different tools, weapons. It feels good to fight.
Yeah, I love that mythology about it all. Just watching the recap of the last game, I was just like, oh man, I know that god. I want to see that god.
Yeah.
Oh,
that Valley of Giants.
Wait.
Giants was awesome.
To talk about something real quick for God of War that Ed could also talk about, I sent him this text right before we started tonight. Luis, let's talk about Odin just real quick.
Okay.
When Odin showed up. Ed, what's that guy's name?
Oh, Robert Schiff.
Robert Schiff.
Yeah.
From the West Wing. I Googled it real quick and they were like,
Toby.
From the West Wing.
Yeah.
Odin.
I was like, what a voice for Odin. Like, it just like...
He's kind of like this dweeby whatever, but he's also like, you could see where he's got that leadership power vibe, but it's just like, I don't have to do much. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It reminded me, it wasn't the same, but it was like Hades from Hercules. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's like, this is how it's going to work. If you don't want to do it, then fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Dude, that blew my mind. Ed, were you expecting someone like that to be Odin, the god of the gods?
No, I guess not. And I realized, like, watching the recap that, there's a lot of American accents in this. And that's okay.
The guy who played, well, it should be Norse. I have Norse accents. No, but the guy who plays Thor, what's it called? In God of War, he's the lead. What'd you say?
He's in Remember the Titans.
No, he's God dang it. Shit.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
God, he's in Vikings. He's in the show. He's the lead in the TV show Vikings.
Who just got cast in
Ryan Hurst.
Ryan Hurst
does the voice. He was in Vikings. And finally, we get to see Kratos' wife, Faye. And do you know who plays Faye in God of War Ragnarok? Kratos' wife? Deborah Ann Wall.
Is that who that is?
Deborah Ann Wall from Daredevil.
Wow.
If you hear it now, you can hear it. Yeah.
I'm looking up who that is.
Ryan Hurst was for sure in Remember the Titans. He was also in...
He what?
God damn it. I keep wanting to say House of Dragons. What's that fucking zombie show? Walking Dead.
Holy shit. That's the guy from Remember the Titans?
He was also in
The motorcycle show. Hell's whatever. No. What's that fucking show called?
Sons of Anarchy?
Sons of Anarchy. Yeah.
What the fuck? This is the same dude.
Yes, dude. I'm telling you. Thor.
Wow. All right.
Big belly ass, nipple out.
Big
Thor. All right, Ed, I'm sorry, dude. You've been so patient because I've actually been wanting to hear about all three of these things you've been into lately. So
you're so full of shit.
At least two of them I want to hear.
At least one, maybe.
Both of the first one thing. Yeah.
Well, considering Luis is into the similar too, so
I'm into everything you guys are into this week.
Let's go.
We don't even have to talk about what I'm into. It's just whatever you're into right
now. Nah, we have to hear from all. So
I mean, this
it literally is the same. I mean, the ones. Anyway, we'll get to me, and I'll
yeah. So I'll just talk about the one that nobody else saw. was the Banshees of Inisherin. I went to see.
I can't see it. I was going to see it, and Sarah said I couldn't watch it.
Why?
Because she wants to see it.
Because Bobby Cannavale hasn't seen it yet.
But it was good, right? Was it good?
Yeah, I liked it. It was one of those movies I've just been like thinking about all day today, despite work's best efforts. It was very entertaining. Very much in the Martin McDonagh vein, who he obviously directed In Bruges, Seven Psychopaths, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Was it better than that one?
I think it's his best one since In Bruges. I have to revisit it, but Seven Psychopaths didn't really resonate with me, and the more I saw 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, I disliked it. It's kind of a hateful film. But in the same vein as those movies, it doesn't give you like a satisfying resolution. There's not necessarily in a negative, like you're content with how it's left off, but it's open-ended in that sense. But it is darkly funny throughout. Like, I had a pretty good audience with it. We were laughing the whole way. It's very dark, crude humor, and then also very depressing towards the end, which I feel like is just a common thread through most of his movies. Again, it gets like, and the laughs continue for quite a while, but then it slowly takes a turn to the more morbid and
interesting.
I don't know. The light of the situation kind of disappears where, you know, it starts getting drastic.
I was gonna ask, like, I've seen a couple of trailers for this movie, and you don't feel like it like gave away the conflict at all. It's not just we're not friends anymore.
The threat of it.
Yeah.
I only ever saw that one trailer, I guess. I don't know what the other trailers may have given away, but I won't say if he goes through with it or not. But all that to say that Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, having been in Bruges again, it was really good to see them again together with a good script. But they obviously don't spend a lot of the movie together. And Colin Farrell, who's kind of like, aside from Brendan Fraser, he's been tossed around for Best Actor this year too. He's really good in this. Again, really funny, also really sympathetic. And again, you're never really given like a clear idea of why Brendan Gleeson's character doesn't want to be friends with him anymore. Though, I mean, he gives some reasoning here and there, but the rest is kind of left up to you. But it's really more about how Colin Farrell's character reacts to that and copes with it.
That's cool.
And it's very interesting. There are like several really good moments. But yeah, overall, it's very funny, situational humor. The dialogue is sharp as always with his movies. Barry Keoghan, who he plays kind of like, for lack of a better yeah, and he's the Joker in this too.
Wow.
No, he's kind of like the village idiot, but like he also has like the most tragic story. And if I had like one complaint about this movie, just generally, I'd just be like, I wish they dove more into his movie. It's a really tight film. It's like an hour and 45 minutes.
Ooh!
Yeah, no, really well paced, really again, beautiful, really beautiful to look at. The acting is really good, and
it's an hour 45.
It goes to some dark places, but it's just well done. It's a nice balance, you know. It's not just like tear your heart out. Complete misery porn. It's it's a good one. It's so would recommend on the big screen, naturally, because the cinematography and the costumes are really beautiful, and the landscapes.
What if you have a big TV and you live in a small apartment? Is that the same thing? Can we make that work?
Miguel Sanchez, that's the best place to be.
No, I was more speaking just
and maybe with subtitles.
Would never, absolutely with subtitles.
I
can't even get through the title without being like, come again?
So yeah, Banshees of Inisherin. I think really good movie. I would give it maybe 5 stars out of 5. It was just thoroughly entertaining. It's like maybe I'm letting it settle for a bit. It's like maybe just almost on par with Triangle of Sadness. Triangle of Sadness was such like a whirlwind of a movie.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's a little bit more like calmer and meditative.
The double feature.
It would be a great double feature.
There you go.
Yeah. And then I've been, now that Rings of Power and House of the Dragon are over, I've been trying to catch up on Andor, which I've just been, everybody's been talking about it, and even my older sister Ashley was hitting me up saying, you need to watch Andor, it's great. And she's not big into the Star Wars shows or anything like that, as far as I'm aware. But so I'm on episode 7. Luis, how far are you? Are you all caught up?
I'm all caught up except for the latest one that came out today.
Oh, okay.
Well, then
Wednesday. In that case, I'm just like I'm on the episode where he's in the prison. I haven't finished that episode, but we've met Andy Serkis.
Yes.
And they're kind of just going through his daily
routine.
but
Miguel, I will say if we will be doing a season finale review of Andor. So
I will say this: I'm just happy to hear that it's only 7 or 8 episodes. For some reason,
it's 12
my brain,
episodes.
That's going to be 12,
7, 8 plus a couple more. My brain said 22. I was like,
no,
I
think 22 is the overall goal.
I will say
it's only a 2-season show.
Yeah. The way I did Rings of Power, Ed, Luis, babies. I'll just watch the Andor season finale before I watch anything else.
No, you
son
can't
of a bitch.
Please,
fine.
You can't. Okay, you got to watch. Miguel, are you watching?
I'll be
Andor?
like,
No,
damn, this is a good ass show. No, I've been watching The Watcher. I've been playing God of War Raggy.
I'm glad you watched all of The Watcher, but did not complete Rings of Power.
I finished it.
No, you did not.
I did all the way, man. Episode 7, dude.
No,
you're so full of shit,
dude. That was like
you have to because of the bet that Ed won for the.
Yes, I made a blood pact.
Just because I haven't, and I take it seriously.
No, Andor is the best Star Wars show that we have. It's the Star Wars show. It's a Star Wars content that we as adults who've grown up with Star Wars deserve.
It finally feels like a live action Clone Wars. That in the world building, the kind of serialized storytelling. It's very.
It feels like an HBO show did it.
The arcs are kind of clumped together. Like the first 3 episodes were kind of like one through line, and then same with the second story.
Oh,
if
like
you
the
want
Clone Wars
the heist. Yeah, that's what it felt like, and you get to meet all of these characters who you might not see ever again on the way.
What a good comparison to Clone Wars! It is like every 3 episodes. It's like
and I like that though. It's good. It's gritty. I wish they would expand the galaxy a little more, and I'm sure with a show like this they were kind of tight on a budget to an extent, but like I want to see more aliens in the Star Wars universe.
They're keeping it tight. They're keeping it personable.
Very,
you know what I mean?
Very.
And so
like you see the odd background alien. You see a couple of droids here and there. There are a few droids, but like
it's
right now it's a lot
character.
of English people.
Yeah.
Well,
there's Bix, and then there's the main lead, Andor, who are not British.
Very much so, but everybody else might as well be.
I'm gonna have to catch up. I definitely
speak the truth.
It's true. Like the cinematography on this is phenomenal.
Really good.
I'm telling you, like even
and again,
episode
the world
1,
building. Kind of like they're going to different planets, but not just like here's a desert planet, here's another desert planet, here's an all water planet,
and they treat you like an adult as you're watching it. Do you know?
Absolutely.
You know, like we grew up with Star Wars as a kid, but you're grown up now, so let's talk to you like an adult, and that's what they're doing in this show.
it's putting you on the ground level of what it was like to live under the Empire. You know, it kind of gives like that first person perspective, and we always knew the Empire is just like an evil thing, but we're looking at it at the system surrounding the Empire and how it operates and how it treats how it treats its citizens across the galaxy, etc. And there's politics, there's deception. It's fun. It's really it's been intriguing. Like the dialogue, you're interested in the dialogue. You get pulled into what people are talking about because you feel the stakes are high.
There's that one scene where Stellan Skarsgård is just getting dressed to become his other character. No dialogue. It's just like a scene and a moment, and I'm like, this is film. You know,
and it's such a transformation too.
Dang.
He does such a good job.
Yeah.
Because he steps through that door, he's just like very aloof, very grand in his. Whereas before he was just kind of silent and gritty, I guess. Yeah, awesome characterizations of so far. Miguel, I think it could be a lot of fun. I know you're not a big Star Wars head.
Listen, no, all I'm saying is I need to rewatch. I need to get back on the train. I've got a lot of other things going on. I will be there when we talk about the finale in 2 weeks.
Along with the Rings of Power.
Right, and Black Panther.
I will let it go.
And the Whale.
It's been great. It's been great having Rings of Power, having House of the Dragon, and having Andor to look forward to.
Yeah,
during the week. It was like Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like, wow, what a power week! I remember I went on a flight.
Dang!
And I watched.
That's why I fell off of Andor, is because I was trying to keep up with so much.
Yeah,
and I was watching each Rings of Power episode like two to three times.
Yeah.
So I had to break free. I'm sorry, guys.
Hard to keep up.
An addiction. And then lastly, something else was streaming for free this weekend on Roku.
Yes. That's weird.
The Al Yankovic Story, which was fun.
I had a great time with this movie.
I had a really good time.
This
actually.
reminded me
I was
of
cracking
up. What's it called? It feel like what's the Bobby Hard Dicks? No, what's his name?
Walk Hard.
Walk Hard.
Is that
the
what
Bobby
you're trying
Dick?
to talk about?
Walk Hard. The Bobby Dick story. No, what am I saying?
Stop saying Dick.
That's Cannavale.
Walk Hard. The Dewey Cox story.
Dewey Cox.
There you go. Dewey Cox. That's what I meant. Cox.
The Dewey Dick Show.
Walk Hard.
The Dick Cox.
Not, but a little bit, a little pinch of Talladega. Like that type of era of comedy we haven't seen in such a while.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's more like where those were, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's a lot like Walk Hard, just more like tongue in cheek, where everybody's, I don't know.
It's very tongue in cheek.
It's very meta, but just like because it's like Weird Al's take on it. Like his life story, but it's just like deliberately making fun of all of those tropes of a musical biopic.
Exactly. It deliberately is leaning hard into those tropes, and they play it so grounded, but it is so ridiculous.
Everybody's got a straight face the entire time, and it's great. Yeah.
I was watching this in bed. Sarah was fast asleep, and I had to like hold back my chuckles because I was afraid it would like shake the bed. I was just like.
I'm just imagining Luis giggling in the dark, and my heart is filled with joy.
It really was like from the get-go. You really kind of just like you get what they're going with, and it's like it opens in a hospital, and he's being rushed to the emergency room. And Lin-Manuel Miranda. There are so many cameos in this.
We don't want to spoil the cameos. There's so many. Lin-Manuel, yeah.
Lin-Manuel, he's like the opening cameo. He's like the surgeon, and just like Daniel Radcliffe wakes up and screams, and then everything else from there is just like an adrenaline filled.
Yeah.
comedy. It
starts with him as like a little boy with like a dad who's like a hard ass, and you know what I mean, like the standard.
And a mother
thing,
who loves him and sneakily gets him into his passion.
The dad's like, "You're not allowed to play that devil music in here," like really leaning hard, and oh my god, there's so many fun moments.
Because it's like a accordion. It's just so absurd.
Yes.
And what's his name? Thomas Lennon is like an accordion salesman. He comes knocking on the door. It's like, the girls will love you. It's super hot. It's like the hottest thing you could play right now. No, it's so absurdist, but it's wonderful. It's so and Daniel Radcliffe is just having a great time.
He like really ran with doing weird shit. You know what I mean? He did that Swiss Army Man. He did that Akimbo Gun movie, Gun Akimbo.
Horns, yeah.
He did Horns. He did that
Harry
TBS
Potter.
show. Which one?
No.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter. He did that TBS show with whatever. But yeah, no, it's really fun. It has a lot of fun visuals in it too. I think they did a really good job. And oh my god, you got to see this. I had to download
a load of cameos.
Shout out to Quinta Brunson.
I was gonna write down all the cameos and say them, and then at some point I was like, no. Now at this point, it's like it's a surprise when you see them come out. You know, like
because it was like a joy every time. Because it's like every scene.
There's a couple good cameos you'd like, Miguel. I know that.
For sure.
I'm down.
It's like, I don't even want to say like, it's just a lot of fun. Evan Rachel Wood, we already mentioned that she was in it. She plays Madonna, and she's having a great time with it too. She does such a great job, and the two of them together, it's. Again, like all of this shit obviously never happened, but it's so fun because Weird Al Yankovic is such a big part of the movie, too. And you're just like, man, what a! It's basically a giant Funny or Die film. It's produced by Funny or Die.
Yeah, produced by Funny or Die, which is
where can I download Roku?
So
like, how do you guys?
I went to the App Store
on a Fire Stick or
Well, okay, so this is actually very interesting. This conversation. I tried to download it on my Apple TV. I couldn't, but I could download the Roku channel, a Roku whatever app on my phone and my iPad, and I could watch it there. I could potentially have streamed it from there to my Apple TV and watched it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I watched it on the iPad. And what did you do?
Or if you have like I got the app on my Fire Stick. You can, if you have like a internet browser on your TV, you can just go to the website.
Roku.com?
Roku.com, and it's right there.
It's like fucking huge. It's like, it's the only thing that's showing. Like HBO Max sometimes has like that full screen, like poster images.
They're like,
this
please
one's like,
watch this movie.
The whole thing is just weird. Like the of the movie.
Okay.
Now I know it's a lot of fun. It's a good chuckle, Miguel. I think you would.
I'm
get
not
a kick
against
out of
it, you guys. I'm totally down. I just I was not prepared this week, but I will.
We
that's fun. It's easy viewing, and it's there for free from the comfort of your home, with a few commercials.
Shout out to.
We all know you like commercials.
Oh. Just because I watched Mad Men with commercials, that was like an artistic choice. Okay. The way Don Draper intended, okay? Doesn't mean I love watching commercials. Do I want to pay for Hulu without ads? Not anymore, okay? I'll just watch the ads. It's fine. Anyway, I'll watch this movie. It's good. No, can't wait. Super excited.
There's this one line where I wrote down where after they realize, like, he's in college and he parodies the song, and the dude is so spellbound, he's like, I don't know if it comes from God or the devil, but the world needs to hear it. I don't know. It's so funny.
There are a lot of there's great one-liners.
Yeah,
and it just riffs on all those moments where the artist is struck with inspiration.
Yeah.
When he comes up with my baloney or my bologna. Not just, I mean, basically, literally just him staring at a packet of bologna.
He's like, hey, yeah, you can have some of my bologna. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they've got the song playing on the radio in the background, and then the radio starts skipping, so it starts repeating in his head.
Man, the radio's broken or something. Yeah, no, it's great. Speaking of Weird Al, I did want to ask this question. Favorite Weird Al song, or a song that you kind of like?
Oh man,
that you click to or whatever, or every time you think, maybe not your favorite, or just something like when you think of Weird Al. What is your song? Because I know mine.
Yeah, so this took me back to when I was living in England. One of my friends made me like a mix CD of comedy tracks. So it had like some like Monty Python in there, but it also had Amish Paradise. So that was like my first introduction to Weird Al Yankovic, because I wasn't.
Shout out!
That was a classic. Yeah.
Shout out to the friend that's like, I want to make a mixed comedy CD for you, bro.
Yeah, it was great. I listened to that so much. You're gonna love
this shit.
Hadley Booth Millard, if you're listening, thank you so much.
Shout out.
Miguel, do you have a song?
Yeah.
You guys,
not only did I not watch this movie, I don't remember not one goddamn Weird Al song.
Not one Weird Al song?
I mean, that was just
Amish Paradise was like one of the popular ones.
He did Riding Dirty. I think he did like a Riding Dirty parody.
Oh my god, he did do that one. Yeah, there you go. See? That's it. There you go.
Man, I pulled that out. So
that's a good pull. That's a good pull.
Write that down.
Mine was the song, the parody he did off of American Pie, but it was for Star Wars.
Yeah,
it was called The Saga Begins.
I watched that today. It came up on my Reddit feed.
Oh, really?
So I hadn't seen that one before. I wasn't even aware of it.
I didn't know the song American Pie at all. I knew the parody song before I knew American Pie, and so now every time I hear American Pie, I'm like, "Whoa, that's not the right."
That's
song.
a classic, my friend.
I always
classic.
think about Weird Al's song, "The Saga Begins," and it is so good. It used to pop up on the radio too. But dude,
that blows my mind
song,
that you didn't know American Pie.
Yeah,
I mean, for some reason I didn't know that song, but this one I knew.
From Ed.
I love that song. I know most of the words.
Really?
Yeah, I have to have the song. No, I need the song to play it, but
just pretend.
No.
Bye, bye, Miss America.
So here, Anakin guy, maybe Vader someday later. Now he's just a small fry. Saying soon I'm going to be a Jedi. And that's our episode today, folks.
Damn, we did it.
That's Punch Drunk Nerd. We hit it under 2 hours. You know what I mean? We did pretty good this week. Next week, we're talking about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We'll see how that goes. We are excited for that one. But hey, you know what? Until next time, it's been me, Luis Gonzalez, and
Miguel Sanchez. You fuck. You ever step on my line again? I swear to God, I'll fly down to Texas.
Sorry.
That's it. I mean, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Later, skaters.
Later, Gators.
I'm gonna jump over you too.